Hey everyone, Neil from Redflare Models. So today I'm showing people how to use Tinkercad, which is an online tool to create 3D models. It's got some pre-baked kind of elements in it and everything, but you can import your own kind of STLs as well. And STLs are the kind of file formats for most 3D printers. And I've been using that to create some 3D models, which I've then printed and then mold and cast. So one of the things I kind of wanted to show is I've been working on some tiles for a Death Star wall. And at the moment I've got some kind of sets now around about 200 mil in kind of square ratio each, and I've done a set of those. And what I'm doing is I'm showing the technique of how I created these in using Tinkercad. So I'm going to do some kind of intro in that, and then I'm going to show you how I use those to then make the 3D models themselves, print out using the slicer app, using the printer to get the master parts, and then making the molds and everything, and then showing you the casted parts afterwards. So let's get into it, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Here is Tinkercad's work plane, and on the left here I've got a number of greeblies and kind of panels that I've already created, pre-created in the past. They're STL files now, and I've imported those. And then the beige ones that I'm laying out here on the right are mainly kind of detailed sections that I've created for the Death Star wall panels, and they're to scale. So these are the kind of raw building blocks essentially that I use. So what I'm doing here is I'm applying a hollow section, making some alignment really, and then you join them together in Tinkercad, and what that does is it creates a negative space in the main section. So you can see there the slightly grey colour has now been cut out. They're still combined, it's like a grouped product and kind of item, so I can come back to it and ungroup them again and make modifications, but it just means that I'm able to do a lot of detail. So I'm just making a cylinder here. This is pretty basic, making sure that it's the right dimension and the right size, as you can see here. And what I want to be able to do again is align those. And one of the things about the cylinder as well is when you import them and drag them over from the basic shapes on the right hand side, they're pretty low resolution. So if you notice in the slight kind of modal window, they have only 20 sides to them. So one of the things that I have to do later on is also modify them to ensure that they're kind of tweaked and changed to as smooth as I can get it, and that way I can print the file as properly as I can. I'm just selecting one of the greeblies. Using this arrow tool just to position it on the Z plane, or Z plane for the Americans. Again, just going by eye, I'm not following any diagrams or detail. This is all kind of panels that I'm creating in the style of, the way that the Death Star, movie sets were constructed. But I'm not really looking at it from any other perspective. Taking the dimensions and making sure that the dimensions are the same. So I'm just lining up this piece at the bottom. Again, it's very, very quick and easy to resize and scale and align all of these elements. So that's a 17.18 dimension, so I can put that 17.18 here and make sure that that's precisely the right size, so when it comes to printing it's ready. Sometimes it's a bit slow because it is a cloud program, but it is saving your changes as you go along. Spending a bit of time now positioning the pipe and making sure I'm going to convert that to a hollow, and making sure that it fits within the making a peg essentially, so I can fit that all together. And as the pipe goes along, making sure it's the right size and the right dimension, and again just fitting all of these elements together. So one of the things you can do is you can make a piece transparent, just using the cursor there, and then I can select these two items and align them on the Z-axis again. And then once they're fully aligned, I can combine them, and then that's the one pipe, as you saw, that got printed. Just adding a few more bits of detail, adding the vent at the top, and we're pretty much done. And then it's just a matter of exporting the files as STLs using the export feature there. So I'm using Lychee Slicer Pro. I've got a photo mono. I've got some modifications, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner. I've got a spacer, a flexible plate on the printer, so it doesn't give me full height of the printer. It's normally 165mm, but with a spacer there's a couple of mil that you lose, but it gives me the convenience of being able to just take off a print off the plate and put a new flexible plate back on and print another one without having to worry too much about taking half the printer to bits just to get the items off. So what I'm doing now is I'm just positioning all of these items on the plate, making sure that various items have holes. These parts are hollow, so what I need to make sure is there are drain holes in the bottom and the top, so that any resin on the inside of the hollow is drains out. When I print it, the kind of process for using SLA and resin printing is very much you can either print solid or hollow. Here you can see the hollow sections in there. Saving the file, adding some supports now. That's because this is a curved piece, it's very hard to print flat on the plate. The pipe and the base or the wall section is very easy to replace. Just cleaning up some hollows here, they shouldn't have really been underneath, so I'm just making sure they don't ruin the vents on the front because it's quite a thin section. Just double checking everything here, positioning it all ready for print, and then exporting the file, making sure that I've got the right resins, and that's it. So I've now got the parts printed. As you can see here, what I've done is these have been printed hollow on the printer, and This one was solid actually. This one's solid. This is hollow and these are hollow. So they were printed out in different jobs. And as you can see, I mean, there's a lot of detail. Let's just see that there. Yeah. In terms of these kind of vents and panels and things like that. So what I can do is just simply kind of assemble these, and as you can see, these flat panels will be positioned and made into a mold. I've got a piece at the top. What I've actually got, sorry, that piece goes there. I've got some other pieces that were cast before to give you the kind of position and sizing, and then that goes down the bottom. Let's just take that off there. That goes there. That goes there. There is another piece here. And then that comes there down to the floor, so that basically all assembles just like that. And it's a simple process really. I mean, Tinkercad's very useful in that way, in being able to kind of tweak things and make things very quickly, and then I can make molds and parts like this, and then print them as you saw. These have been obviously washed and cured, and then the next stage is obviously to make the mold. So I hope you enjoyed that quick tutorial on how I use Tinkercad occasionally to make the things. I also use ZBrush on the figures and the characters, but you know, the main construction is quite easy in Tinkercad. So there we are, just simplistic process of using an online tool like Tinkercad to create your 3D models, export them into your your slicer software, and then you can print them on your printer, and it's as simple as that. As I say, I use them to make master parts for my models and for our products. And it's a simple process of doing that. As I say, using ZBrush and things like that for the more detailed figures can take a lot more time, but Tinkercad is great for just greeblies, panels, sections where it's more linear and engineered. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make a like and subscribe. Hopefully you will do that as well. I'm going to put some more videos together shortly. So have a good day, and I'll see you soon.